This was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help.
Donald Trump elected as the 47th president of the United States and will be returning to the White House. The official results came within just the last hour or so. We want to thank you for being with us here this morning on Go.
Let's take a look at the numbers as President-elect Trump won both the popular and the electoral vote. Several states that once were blue, like Georgia, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, all voted for Donald Trump. Now, NBC's Jay Gray is in Pennsylvania for us this morning.
And Jay, we saw the candidates spend a good amount of time in our neighboring state during the campaign, and it looks like it paid off for Trump.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's no question, Dave, Danita. I think we have to look back now at what so many analysts, so many polls had said would be just a razor-thin race. And as we see these numbers, and the counting continues, but as we see the numbers coming in overnight and into the early morning, it really just wasn't. They missed it. This was not as close a race as most had believed it might be. And Pennsylvania, both campaigns had said, you have to win this state, the state we're in right now, to get a clear path to the White House. And that's what the former president, now future president, did. He won Pennsylvania along with other key swing states. And I'm talking about Georgia. I'm talking about North Carolina. Wisconsin is the state that put him over the 270 electoral votes needed to win the White House. And so this was, by all accounts, a tremendous work on the ground by his campaign and a very dominant win in a race that, again, so many had said would be maybe decided in not hours, but days. We saw the results start to come in early last night, and he built up a significant lead, moving states over to his side of the ledger, held that lead, and then as we talked about just now, those swing states came in, and it made it all but clear that he would retake the White House. We did hear from the president early this morning. He was joined by friends, by key staff members. Of course, his running mate, J.D. Vance, on the stage in West Palm Beach at his victory rally, said that this was a huge win for democracy. Those his words. And you just heard, he called his supporters and those that have been with him throughout this campaign, quote, the greatest political movement of all time. He was a bit uniting in that speech, not something we're familiar with hearing from the president. He did say that he would be a president for all voters, for all Americans, and continued to say that he was going to right what he said has been a terrible economic ship over the last couple of days. When you boil this down, guys, and I know we've got to wrap it up here, but Dave, Danita, it looks like his focus on the economy and continuing to drive home the point that the economy was what was important to voters seemed to pay off at the ballot box.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people up on stage with him this morning, and many of them spoke along his side, and it looks like the Keystone State, a big key. All right, Jay Gray, thank you.
Yeah.